I can't remember who it was that said words to these effect, that when they remove the carpet, the seats, the stools, the stage, the curtains, the lights, the scenes, all you're going to be left looking at is a bare brick wall. Pink Floyd summed it up quite well, that you can choose to be a brick in that wall, or you can take on board what's happening in the world now and affect change for yourself. And the cliches that are piling up on my channel are becoming huge, but if you're not still thinking about growing food, about securing your property, about preparing yourself for a period where people are hungry and you have to accustomize to this, if you're not doing this, if you're just watching this erupt around you and not realizing that 90% of our, how do you put it, direction comes from that fantasy land of Hollywood. All across the world, people are led by the vision of the strongest empire of the nation. Now, I'm not, look, they're smashing up the streets at the moment. There's nothing to be concerned about, really. People are watching this and being, we're seeing people getting run over, we're seeing shops getting smashed, etc. They're not burning the Masonic lodges, they're not taking down the banks, they're not going for the senators that signed the laws and the bills that put them in this position, because they're an uneducated mob. And anyone that's listened to me over the past few hundred videos will know that I differentiate and understand the difference between real resistance and a uneducated, wound up, impoverished, hungry mob. And I understand why the protests are happening. I really do. All lives matter in this case. It doesn't matter who's being killed by authority. Authority has proven itself now that well, the kind of authority we look at, from the police to the politicians, they aren't an authority anymore. The doctors and nurses we used to respect, the medical practitioners that we used to trust, they're not an authority, and they're not a moral authority anymore. And this is part of the plan. I did put this in a video, pardon me, a few months ago. You lose track of time. Probably even a few weeks, could have been a few days ago, I don't know, where I said that they are going to get us to lose our trust in police, in doctors, in nurses, in authority, so that this plan can be finalised, where there is no control, there is no respect amongst individuals, there is no respect anymore between individuals and authority. And while I'm up for anarchy in many ways, I do believe that if your grandmother or your mother or an elderly or a vulnerable person was attacked in their home or assaulted in the street or had an accident, that you'd want a good policeman there, a fireman, an ambulanceman. Then you'd want them to see a good nurse, a good doctor if they had a medical problem stemming from an accident, and you'd want them to be surrounded by good people. And we know that a majority, well, I don't know if there's a majority of good now in these so-called authority figures, because of their debt levels, and that the fact that they're owned, that their perception of their lives, from their property to their car to their holidays to their clothes to how their children are presented to other parents at the school gates, affects their ability to stop and be moral, and moral judgment has gone. So if you're one of my 500 odd subscribers and you're listening to me, for God's sake, I hope you're still preparing and looking at this as the script. This is the biggest show on earth. This is the greatest show on earth. It was written, perfected, tweaked, tested. All we're missing is the canned laughter, for Christ's sake. So keep that in mind. Don't go on holiday. Don't buy new clothes. Don't do anything that puts money in the pocket of those who want you impoverished and enslaved. Buy a greenhouse. Buy solar panels. Buy Victorian heirloom seeds. Buy defence. Buy alarms. Buy cameras. Realise that people like myself, and it's again, this isn't an egotistical thing or a it's tiring. We see it today, it happens in a year, it happens in 2 years, it happens in 5 years, it happens. We see it, it happens. It's awful. So the spread of this will die down. You can no social distancing for a while. You can go to the beach, you can go to the restaurant, you can go to the cafe. Meanwhile, people won't quite realise the draconian laws through surveillance, tracking. So please forget all this nonsense on the TV, on your screens, or the world erupting. It's not erupting yet. It very well may do. But the one factor is food. Food is everything. Food security through this is going to be everything. So if you've got 2 cars and you don't need 2 cars, sell one, buy a greenhouse, buy the substrate, the fertilizer, the seeds, the shading for the greenhouse, the mylar to protect it. If you want to grow food through winter, invest in LED lights, 100-watt LED lights from eBay. They're 35, 40 quid each. You can run them at the cost of a 100-watt light bulb, okay? But they'll grow food for you inside all year round, 365 days a year. And if people were to say to me now, well, you say all this, challenge me. I'll get it all out. I'll show you. I shouldn't have to, because I think you probably realise that I'm not here to lie to you. If you want me to show you our LED light grow room setup, our outdoor light, our substrate, our fertiliser, our heirloom, our seed bank, I'll do it. Okay, if you want me to show you my full solar setup, my generator, my convection water based heater, my rocket stoves, my solid fuel burners, I'll show you it. If you think I'm here, I'm too subtle sometimes, but for God's sake, people, realise that this is a show. This is a actual show. They've taken the seats out. You're now standing on a carpet, okay? A carpet that's had fag butts dropped on it, high heels scraped into it. It's had beer smashed onto it. The carpet's stinky, okay? The next thing to go is going to be the carpet. It's going to be the bare boards. The boards are going to turn into the stage. The stage is going to go. And then you're going to realise one day maybe when you want a show, you're going to be sitting on a stone in a circle in a field in an amphitheatre back in 960 AD. Cheers.